Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, bitch, we got.
What's going on, everybody? Chad Arms. This is Chad Arms TV. And we've got another beast with an upcoming album coming out, man. Goes by the name of Jericho. Tell them who you are, Bubba.
My name is Jericho. I got a new project dropping November 16th. It's called Dope Boy Country. And I'm a singer, rapper, artist. And yeah, I'm excited to be here because I want to make this clear. I reached out to Chad because I started seeing videos of his, and so I reached out to him, and I'm a fan of what he's been doing. And yeah, so I'm excited for him to come down to almost where I live. We stopped the town over, but yeah, to come to my area.
Cool, man. So like we do in these interviews, man, we just kind of start off from the beginning. So you want to tell them a little bit about your upbringing, like growing up, maybe kind of how you got into music and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I was born in Florida, a little town called Avon Park, Florida, and lived in Wauchula, Florida. And my grandfather was always into music, and my mom was too, and my grandpa's brother was all into music. And it's always been a passion, I guess, but I was like, I never thought I would really do music until, later on in my teen years.
Yeah.
But I always enjoyed music. My grandpa was always on the porch singing Merle Haggard, Waylon, Cash. And then my mom was always in churches singing music, so we traveled with my mom and my father doing music. And then my dad and mom got a divorce when I was in second grade, and my mom moved to Nashville to become a country music star. And
cool.
yeah, well, it wasn't.
Oh, that was the aspirations.
Yeah, it was. It sucked, man. It was good in a lot of ways because we were around the music business. My mom got a job at Nashville Now and the Crook and Chase show, and
cool. Yeah.
so we were able to go to Opryland for free. Remember, everybody knows Opryland.
Oh, yeah.
The real ones know Opryland back in the day.
For sure. We were talking about that last night at the Opry show.
Yeah, it was really cool, and but at the same time, we lived in the Fiddler's Inn, that motel. Yeah. And then we lived in a basement of a home, and we were like, man, we were just dirt, like poor, man. It was like, It was a rough time, and my mom was working, trying to do music, raise her kids, and at the same time, my sister's turned into a teenager, and we're in a home now without a father there all the time, and it don't make for a good situation all the time, but God's faithful, and we stayed here for a good while, and my mom did some cool things, and she was signed to a little independent label. Not knocking what my mom had done, but a Nashville hustler. You know how the label, everybody's got a label. They're the biggest. You know how it goes. And so we left here and we went back to Florida. But Tennessee's always been in my blood, so I went down to Florida for a while and moved back to Tennessee, and I've just been back here, grinding and trying my best to do music. So yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
When did you start realizing that music was something you may want to try to dabble in?
I always, like I said, I always liked music.
Just through her?
Through her, but there was one time I was probably, I'm trying to think of how old I would have been when this came out, but I liked the Beastie Boys and stuff like that, but I really liked rock music. But my grandpa was getting a tire changed at Big T Tire Man in Avon Park. And we were sitting in the lobby, and they would have the TV playing, and Southern Playalistic came on.
Oh, bro!
And I remember just being in pure someone had slapped me in my face.
Yeah.
And I was just staring at the screen with my mouth open, like, oh my gosh! I didn't know what it was, but I know I loved it.
Yeah.
And that was like my first real intro into hip hop, and I just remember being like, I don't know, it shook me. Still to this day, when I listen to it, I get chills because. First of all, they're just super dope, but it just brings me back to just how dope it was for that time too. So.
Yeah. And how old did you say you were around that time?
I was a kid. Yeah. No, I wasn't even a teenager then. I was younger than that, but man, yeah.
Yeah, because Southern Playalistic was like 93, 94 when I dropped like that first. Yeah.
And I remember I talked my mom into getting me the. We could never afford like the full album, so I got the single tape at Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I wore that thing out, bro.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's a good group to like get you going, like get you started. As far as it's not hard to hear them for the first time and be like, this is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's cool. So when did you started? That got you into that style, that stuff, kind of music. When did you start?
So like when I really started, this is a funny story. So I went to seminary school, right?
Yeah.
And there was this dude in there named Eric, and this dude was like when Bone Thugs was ripping off, you know what I'm saying, like going off. This dude could rap like that. And I remember being like, dang. So he would always be just rapping about everything, and I remember I was like, man, I want to try that, and I did, and he was like, dude, you'll never be a rapper. And I was like, all right. And then I went home for the summer, and all I did was just like freestyle about everything forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna become a rapper, and just literally
out of spot because he said you couldn't do it. Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. So I started doing like the freestyle battles when like this was like right before probably 8 Mile came out, and everybody was into the freestyle battle, and that really peaked it.
Yeah, that came out I think 01.
Yeah,
I was still in high school.
Dude, so I came to Nashville. There was a battle called like the Southeast Battle Royal or something, right? And it was done in Nashville somewhere. I came up here. There was a dude named Chunky. Do you know who that is?
Chunky, yeah, short white dude, like with his fade. Oh yeah, I know
he was
Chunky.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, short dude.
So I ended up beating him and winning that night, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't want to, but I came by myself, and I was about to get jumped in the parking lot, and one of the judges was Swap Shop Joe.
Oh yeah, I know him too.
Right,
Yeah.
and Potts, Big Potts.
Snaps Pops.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
And they made sure I didn't get jumped, and I could leave to go back to Florida in the parking lot.
Bro.
But what was so funny is in the parking lot, this big dude comes walking up, and I knew of him, and I was like, oh man, this sucks, because he was the only one I knew that at the time, and it was Jelly Roll when he had braids down to his,
does back. Yeah.
And they were like, hey, Jelly, there's a freestyle competition. You need to come in here. And he's like, shoot, I'm trying to sell CDs. And he had these CDs, and he's like, these are unbreakable cases. I'll never forget this. And he threw it down, and it wouldn't break. He's like, this is the new thing. And he's like, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, please don't come here and battle. Like, you know what I mean? And and I was like, being extra cool to him. I bought a CD from him and everything. Like, and he ended up leaving. I was like, yeah. So somehow I won that, which I think they promised us a bunch. And it wasn't like Swap or what's his name wasn't the one giving out prizes. They were just, well, I never did get, I don't think I got any money or anything like they said. But, I would just do that and just try to go anywhere, battle and rap and all that. And then I started listening to a lot of battle rappers, and I noticed that a lot of them were not really good at writing songs.
For sure. I'm a huge battle rap fan.
Yeah, but when it comes to correlating to, it's like, and I was like, man, I'm gonna focus on that, and I just kind of got away from that and started, trying to write and this and that. And you've been in the music business for a long time as well, and it's a roller coaster
for sure.
You get promised the world and drop. And
the delivery is like,
oh man, it's insane. Yeah,
a decimal amount to what is promised. Yeah.
So I look back now, and I'm thankful, man, that God, has a plan for our lives, and sometimes we don't understand it. And I used to get mad and frustrated. And so at one time, you remember the Youngbloods from Atlanta?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there was Sean P, and then there was J-Bo.
Yep.
Well, they kind of took a break, and they were doing their own thing. And Sean P had a thing called Cornerstone. It was a label. Yeah. And I went and met with them, and his father was like the head guy of it, and they were going to sign me. So I'm coming back and forth from there to Nashville all the time, and dude, I'm telling you, anything that could go wrong with music, and it's not just me. I know it's everybody, but it seemed like it was only me.
Well, of course, yeah, because you're the one that's happening to.
So they called the A&R. They're like, "Hey, man, you got to come see this guy," because I've always just been a little different. I'm not trying to say that in a bragging way. I'm just different. You know what I'm saying? And And so he comes and he's meets with me. He's like, "Oh yes, man, come back in a month with 4 more songs. It's a done deal. We got you. We'll record at Jazzy Face Studio." Like, oh dude, my dreams are like, yeah,
bro.
Dude, I come back the same day I was told the night before the dude had a heart attack. The A&R had a heart attack.
Oh wow.
Within 3 weeks, the label was dismantled.
Oh
And
man.
dude, I went into like a super, super deep like depression.
For sure.
I had no vehicle at the time. I was riding my bicycle to the studio to go record and driving back home like a couple miles. You know, I was so hungry to do that, and that happened, bro. I was like, I went into just a super duper depression, and you know, just it sucked. And
What time frame was this? You remember the year of this? Like mid 2000s?
probably it was after that last big Young
I want to say that was
album.
04, 05.
Yeah, so it's probably 06-ish, 07 maybe.
Yeah.
I have to.
Because they had
check.
that one first album, Against the Grain, that did really big.
Yeah.
And after that, they had that, I think, the presidential George Bush single that went big. That was around that time frame. Yeah.
It was after that album.
Okay, yeah. I got
So
you.
I don't know exactly, because to me that album was super dope, but I don't know if it didn't do the label. You know how the labels
Yeah,
are.
for sure.
Whatever. I don't know what happened, but they split up. So then I became friends with J-Bo from the Young Bloods, and we started doing stuff. And but you know, there was really no backing or anything. It was just like J-Bo said he had a label, but you know, and I'm not knocking J-Bo.
Yeah, he was just, it was like an independent.
He was trying to do what he could do.
Yeah.
And but at that same time, this is so. I want to be specific when I say tell the story, because I haven't told the story hardly ever. But God was like really, like I told you, I was raised in church, and God was really dealing with me about my life and all this stuff. And I've been running from God for a long time. And so when I was doing the thing with J-Bo, I was like, man, I was just fighting with God. I'm like, man, I just want to give this up and just give my life to God and just let God direct my path. But, you know, I'm stubborn. So there was a promoter in Florida, I'm not going to say no names, and she put on some big name concerts with drug money, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, you know how
yeah.
it goes. And they were having YC come down. Remember Racks on Racks?
Racks on Racks, yeah.
So he was coming
First time I
down.
heard Future.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, Future really made that song, and then YC.
That's what blew him up.
Yeah.
I feel like that in Tony Montana.
So he's doing a show, and this girl's promoting, and she's like, "Why don't you come?" Because I got a Canon 60D when it first came out, and so I was wanting to film. I thought I was gonna be the next filmmaker, you know. And she's like, "You come film the show." So I go there. I'm filming the show, and no one's at the venue, right? It's like maybe 100 people, and they were at another club, and YC said, "Hey man, I'm gonna go to the other club, walk through the club, and tell everybody I'm gonna be here, and we'll get everybody to come over here, right?"
Yeah.
Well, we're in this vehicle, and the promoter and this other guy, and the dude's got a pistol in his lap, right? And we're in a BMW, and he says, "Hey man, I'm gonna drop you off. I'm a while out." Well, I'm dumb. I'm thinking he means like go holler at some girls or something.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So we get out of the thing, and sorry, someone was. We get out of the car, me and the promoter, and this dude, he drives off. So I think, and YC's in his vehicle, and the promoter said the club was packed, and the promoter said, "Hey, go tell YC we'll get him in just a second." So I walk out there, and about the time somebody starts shooting, right? And in my head, I'm from the country, like obviously you see where I live now,
Right.
and in Florida I lived on a farm, so I'm like, at parties that wasn't that normal. Like it sounds stupid, but it's you know, they do that. But this dude is like shooting, and my dude, I just freeze, right? I'm like, what is going on? And I literally like I had concrete in my shoes. And I felt this burn in my arm, right? And I'm like, I remember someone saying if you get shot, it feels like a hot iron poking you, you know?
Yeah.
So I grab my arm, and I'm literally running around like Ace Ventura after he gets shot with darts, you know what I'm saying? And people are screaming and hollering. I don't know what's going on. And but anyways, the
Do you
dude.
still know that you're shot at this point?
Yes, but it gets a little more crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the dude that said he was gonna go wild out, he's the one shooting everybody.
And who was this guy to y'all? This was just some guy that
He
took
was
y'all
a
to the club?
promoter's friend.
Okay.
Okay. This has been so long ago now. I feel kind of safe to speak about it.
Yeah.
I think most of them are in prison now.
Right.
And so he just starts shooting at people for his idea was to shoot at people and make them leave the club and go to the other club.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
You talk
topic.
about guerrilla promotion, bro.
I mean, bro.
So, anyways, I jump into some random person's vehicle because I didn't drive there, right? And I'm like, I got shot. And they're like, I know, just calm down. And I was like, my mom's gonna find me at a club dead. You know what I mean? That's gonna be how they gonna preach that sermon? You know what I'm saying? But I looked down at my arm, and there was a little bit of blood on my fingers. And I looked down at my arm, and I have a tattoo of. And I looked down at my arm, and I have a tattoo of praying hands, but it's Jesus' praying hands because it has a hole, a nail hole.
Yeah.
And bro, I promise you, right where that hole was, I didn't get shot. The bullet had ricocheted, and I thought I got shot because it burnt like nobody's business. So the bullet had ricocheted, and right where that nail hole was, dude, there was blood. I promise, dude, pouring out of the nail hole. Because it had just hit right there on the tattoo.
You just got hit by it. It was like a ricochet.
Yeah.
So it didn't
go in my but it burnt like nobody's business, and I thought for sure I'd been shot.
Yeah.
And so it ricocheted right there where Jesus' hand, it's bleeding. And dude, I remember being in the back of the vehicle and saying like, God, I'm done. Like I'm done running from you. Like I'm done. This is a sign from you. I get it.
Oh, for sure. It is.
Yeah. So, and when I say that, I don't want anyone to, or I'm portraying I was hard or hung out. Like I never, that wasn't my lifestyle. It was a freak accident that, you know. So anyways, that happened. That was a wake up call. And I called, everybody's got,
What is happening?
Let us rev up all our vehicles right now. Watch, he's going to hit it one more time. Let me circle around and hit it one more time. I got a hold of J-Bo and I was like, hey bro, I was like, I'm done, dude. I was like, I've been running from God for too long. I was like, I had this wake up call happen and I was just like, I'm over it, bro. Like, you know. And he's like, cool, man, I got you. So I moved back down to Florida and just get my life situated. And I come back to Tennessee and I'm living in Tennessee working for the Nashville Firefighters Association doing those aggravating calls where you get raising funds for the firefighters.
Yeah.
And I just started writing music, man, like crazy, just writing music. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to go on the road full time and I'm going to travel no matter what. And I'm never going to have a normal job again, period. This is it. And so I was living, when I said this, I'm living in Lebanon at the Walmart in a parking lot in my van, right? But I was working every day. Moved down to Florida, and I'm living in Tennessee now. Moved back to Tennessee and living in a Walmart parking lot in Lebanon, Tennessee. And some dude messaged me and was like, hey man, I seen you live in Nashville. I found your music on Reverb Nation of all things. And he's like, I'm putting on a show. Will you come down and do a show? And I said, yeah. And he said, how much? I said, for free. And I just knew that I was going to do that. So I go down there, he pays me, and I do a show. And then there was another guy there named Martin Miller. Martin Miller's like, hey man, how much would you charge to do a show? We want you next weekend. I did a show next weekend, and literally I've never stopped since then.
And what year was that? You remember?
That was
Reverb Nation. That sounds about like 08, 09. A little later.
A little later. Yeah, I was always late to
that. but I mean, that's still at least been 10 years close to it. Huh?
Probably, yeah, right there at it. Yeah, and so I just started. I was just traveling and doing shows, and it's kind of crazy being brought back full circle because at a funeral I met Stump.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was always a huge fan of Stump.
Oh yeah, me too, man. That's my dog.
Oh dude, I don't know why he wasn't the biggest thing ever. I don't understand.
Stump's a beast, man.
It's just the way his voice, and I don't know.
And he's such a good dude on top of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would go record at Stumps all the time. He would record me, right? And I'm living in this parking lot. And I hadn't even told him, like, I'm living blah, blah, blah. And Stump was always so good to me, bro. There would be times where I would, like, call him from a different phone. He's like, why are you calling me from a different phone? I was like, my phone's off right now, but can I come record? He's like, yeah, if you pay your phone bill, I'll let you come record for free. And
oh, that's dope.
Yeah, dude, he looked out for me a lot, man.
Yeah, he's good people. I got to get him on here too.
Yeah, and but I was so, like, you know how it is when you're on it and you're so hungry, and I would just go, and he's like, so you're just gonna record a verse today? I was like, yeah, just anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, and when you're recording, you swear you're recording the dopest thing ever. Like, it's gonna be a life changer.
Right.
And he was like, all right, man, come on over and record a verse. And I go over and record a verse. And he was very patient with me, and he taught me a lot. And I learned a lot in a short period of time. So I'm traveling around now doing shows and just cutting my teeth and just, grinding, man, like just grinding really hard on the shows. And, dude, I would go maybe do a show at a high school where 20 kids would be making fun of me, but 10 kids would like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, high schools are you want to get cut in, go there and do a show, bro. Right.
Because they're not going to lie to you.
Dude, and they don't, if you're not, like, popular, they don't give a crap about you at all.
Dude.
Right. This is hilarious, dude. So I went to North Carolina to do a show at a high school, right? And the kids are all excited. It's a smaller town high school, or a smaller town in North Carolina. And the sound guy that was putting this on, I said, hey, man, you'll be there early so we get a sound check and all this, and you have the right equipment. Oh, yeah. This dude comes 15 minutes late, the sound guy, with a speaker like this big and a phone jack, right? And I was like, oh, my gosh, man. So I'm doing the show, and I have to do it with my vocals already on the track because he don't have nothing prepared, right? So I'm rapping over my vocals. The kid, it's a good show. Like, I'm enjoying it. I look down, dude, my microphone cord's off. It's like it was on the floor, and it's just the microphone.
Oh, wow.
Cord. And the kids are looking at me like, wait, what's going on here? But yeah, and then Disney World had a competition for Night of Joy, and I won that competition. I got to perform at Disney World, which was super crazy, insane.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So I had a lot of cool things, man, and I was just going any and everywhere I could go and just trying to do something. And a buddy of mine gave, I would write my name on CDs, Jericho, and my phone number, and he gave my CD to a guy in California. The guy in California had a label with a distribution through Capitol Records, and they signed me. And it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, dude, it sucked.
They just shelf you?
No, it was like they didn't know what to do. They're like, I'm not going to say, I'll say Capitol, but I won't say the other company. Yeah. Because I can't really. They had NF before NF blew up. And didn't know what to do with NF and let him go to Capitol. They told Capitol, just take him.
Look how that worked out for them.
If that shows you. Yeah. And they were, it just sucked, dude. Like, because the label was a Christian label, and you would think that the Christian label is better than. I'd rather be signed to a secular because you know what you're going to get. They're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to lie to you. Right. And it's not that way everywhere. I'm just saying. Yeah. It was
your experience.
Yeah, it was that way for sure. And so finally, dude, it was so bad. The label deal was so bad. I remember laying in bed at night, and I'm married at this time, and crying and like, what have I done? Like, what have I done? And my wife's like, look, we're just going to get through this, you know what I mean? And, because they tell you everything. They know better than you. They'll tell you everything, what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot say. It was miserable, man, like miserable. And I learned, too, about the financial situations at labels and all that, how that works. No one's giving you anything for free. It's not like they love you and they're saying, we want to bless you, brother, here, take this. Or you're paying it back, everything. Yeah. So anyways, I got out of that deal, and at the same time, I met Danny Boone, the lead singer of Rehab. Yeah. And I asked him, what he would charge to do a feature, and I never met this dude ever, and he said, for you, nothing. And I was like, this was on Twitter, and I thought it was like a fake account. And I said, why would you say nothing? He said, man, I see you believe in God, dude. You're good, bro. Like, it's free. And I said, if this is real, call me. And he called me, and we started talking, and we've talked, dude, like literally every night since then. We're like best friends.
Yeah, that's cool,
and,
man.
So we did a project called The Scrapes, and this is after Rehab had split up. Demon went in, was doing his thing, and then Danny was doing his project with Average Joe's. And their stuff was over with, and we started doing The Scrapes, and then we were in Nashville recording, and I think it was Sonny Bama said, hey man, if you put this under Rehab, I can get you a budget and we can make this thing happen. And Danny's like, does that bother you? I said, no, it don't bother me at all. So we called it Rehab, did a project, I think it was like number 7 or something like that on iTunes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've been traveling with Rehab for years now, and I've never seen so many dump trucks.
Well, let me just show y'all what's going on. This is the 7th or 8th one of those that's leaving this small town.
And evidently Sturgis is in town today.
Yeah. So we'll leave that in just to give you an idea.
Okay, so I've been traveling with Rehab, and dude, like it's been awesome, man. It's been a blessing. We did a tour with Puddle of Mud and Saliva, and we've done stuff with Flow Rider, and dude, you name it, and I've been able to do it. And it's just been really a cool experience because Danny didn't have to offer me that. He didn't need me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not only did he not need me, but he's like, hey, bro, you're my partner. Like, Rehab is me and you. Let's do this. And, dude, I can't say enough about Danny. And he is the most underrated MC rapper there is. I swear, people know him for singing, but I literally, right now, in my opinion, Redneck and Danny, like, Redneck's the dopest to me right now.
He's one of my favorites. Me and him are close. I'm finna go down there and see him and shoot footage.
He is very dope, and Danny's very dope. And those two, like, in my opinion, I don't know anyone that could handle either one of those dudes.
Right.
That's my,
yeah, for sure.
What it's worth. And I reached out to Redneck and just said, hey, bro, I don't want nothing from you. I just want to tell you you're dope. You know, you do your thing.
Yeah.
And he's fire.
Yeah,
but
that's my dog. One.
Yeah. So during quarantine, the world just stopped, and so did music pretty much as far as traveling, and that was our big income was touring.
Yeah.
And Danny loves like straight up hip hop, like 90s boom bap, loves it.
Yeah.
And we were working on some stuff together, and I was like, bro, this really ain't my thing, dog. Like, I don't like to just rap just to rap. And Danny will be sitting there studying the dictionary, like he likes, like he loves Nas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, just do a project by yourself. And he writes so fast too. He's just ultra talented. So he did like, I think honestly 60 songs during quarantine, if not more.
Yeah.
So he's just been putting out project after project. Well, I went to D-Ray's and wrote some songs, and I had this idea called Buck Wild. And I knew right when I wrote it, I wanted Southern Mama to be in it every night.
Yeah.
And we had met twice previously, and I called him and I said, hey man, I got this idea for a song. And I told him the idea of it. He said, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. And I said, let me explain a little bit better. And I told him, he said, all right, come down to my house, let's film this thing. And we filmed it, and it went viral on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, oh shoot, I didn't really expect that to happen. It went pretty well. And then I had me and D-Ray wrote another song called Rock and Roll that did really well on YouTube, really well for me being a solo artist.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well dang man, and I just kept recording songs, and there was a label that I went and met with in Florida, and and whatever, but anyways, very awesome people and very cool, and everything was gung-ho, but then it just kind of faded apart too, and I'm like, here I am again, you know what I mean? Like, and it was nothing on their end or my end, it just, some things don't happen for a reason. I'm still friends with them, and so I was like, all right, and I kind of knew the Rehab thing was coming to an end, you know what I'm saying? I just felt it was time to move on, and So I'm like, all right, man, what's going to happen? And I reached out to Bobby from Redneck Nation about some merch, and he checked out my music, and he said, let's do this thing, man. And so I got to deal with Redneck Nation, and but my sub part of it is called Battleground Records, because I live in the country, but I'm not a redneck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
I
yeah.
think there's a difference in that.
Yeah.
And I've always loved country rap. As far as like what I consider country rap is Outkast, is Big Crit,
Oh yeah.
GK. You
UGK,
know what I'm saying? Trick Daddy spoke to me way more than Tupac did. It's just
Right.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
But I've always loved Southern hip hop, and yeah, man. So Bobby got with me, and I got this record done pretty quick, and he said, "Man, let's do this." And they've been so good to me, man. Like, just unbelievably good. Like, unbelievably
Yeah.
good, weirdly good.
Yeah.
And just totally honest with me. And man, I'm excited. It's funny though, because people automatically relate Redneck Nation with Upchurch, you know?
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, dude, Upchurch signed it. I was like, no, Upchurch did not sign me. You know what I'm saying? Don't get that rumor started and get him pissed off
Yeah.
at me. No.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people think because, oh, you're with them, dude. I've had people call me like, hey, tell Upchurch. I'm like, bro, I don't know him like that. Dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he's very cool to me.
Yeah.
And we've talked one time, very, you know, but it's like, it's not like that, dude.
Right.
Like, you know, he's got his own thing going, bro. And he's killing it. And
Yeah.
their whole crew, I mean, your boy Leroy.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, for sure.
He's killing it.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
everywhere, bro.
Yeah, we got him going. There's another one.
Let's make a documentary about the semi.
Yeah, I gotta make a look.
Never in my life, bro, have I seen this much crap.
Any other day that we wasn't doing this, it
Be
would
like
be
the
quiet.
Thanksgiving parade will come through. So yeah, back to that. But and it's like everybody that I know in Nashville that was grinding. Look at Bravo doing so good.
Yep.
You got your thing. You're doing good.
Yeah.
D-Ray's doing good.
Yep.
Jelly Roll.
Yep.
I mean, everybody is it's like crazy, dude. Like,
Yeah, man.
you know, I guess all of us, and I put myself in that because I know you guys, but I'm saying I wasn't, you know, y'all had y'all's own crew, but I guess everybody wanted it to happen at an earlier age, but it happened in perfect God's timing. And
When it was supposed
you know
to,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think, I'm trying to say this in the right way, the stuff Jelly did early on would affect people like it does this music.
No, right, and he's
Yeah.
admitted to that.
Yeah,
He's definitely said that. Yeah.
Dude, this is insane. So my mom is a minister, right? She don't listen to no secular music, no nothing, bro.
Yeah.
She don't listen to Elvis Presley, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she called me and was like, hey, do you know a Jelly Roll guy? And I was like, what? And that was exactly my reaction. And
Yeah.
She said, he sings and raps. And I was like, what does he look like? And she tells me, I was like, how do you know who that is? And she's like, well, I was on your YouTube and I just kept watching, like, you know, going through videos and his popped up. And then she starts crying, I just love him. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the impact that he has on people
Yeah.
without her ever meeting him or knowing him. It's insane.
Was it Save Me?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one she
yeah,
saw.
yeah.
And then she's been like, she'll call me every now and then. If you ever, you know, what was crazy is when he played at the Ryman,
Yeah.
she asked me if I would get her tickets, and I said, I'll do that for you. And I went to get tickets, and it sold out in like
Yeah.
and that blew my mind because I was like, I told her, I was like, there'll be plenty of tickets, you know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah.
know that
No,
it would be
for
like
sure.
that, bro.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see him and the support he has, and just, I don't know, dude. It's just dope to see people do good, man.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And going back full circle, my mom grinded real hard in Nashville and just tried everything she could. But right now, today, on Broadway, I have a billboard up on Broadway. And just to be like full circle to know, not long ago, not many too many years ago, I was homeless. And now I
Yeah.
have a billboard downtown.
Yeah,
and on the album release, I'll have the Nashville sign, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. God's faithful, dude, and everything happens for a reason. And times where I wanted so bad, I felt like I was so dope when really I wasn't.
It wasn't your time yet, man.
And I had a lot of growing and maturing to do. Just like with me, with a family, I got kids now. Before, dude, I could have never had kids. I just wouldn't have been a good dad. And, you know, before I was arrogant, cocky, and thought I was something, and now I'm definitely not that. And I just realized that getting to do music for a living is a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
and,
man. It definitely is.
But you can relate too with what you're doing, because I feel you're an artist at heart, and you doing anything other than artist work, whether it's music, videos.
Yeah.
It's our passion, bro. Like,
no,
you have to do it. And you know,
it's
my
like
mom,
me 15 years until this year is when my first year that I've not had a 9-to-5 job.
Dude, and my mom's husband, she got married, and he's a very strict, you know, worked on a farm, you know, this, and he didn't understand. And my mom's like, you don't get it. Like, some people that are built for that, right? Like, that's their thing. But people who are artists, it's depressing not doing what you feel like you're called to do.
Absolutely, man.
And,
absolutely is.
And God's, you know, giving you a gift, and it's just, man, I'm happy, dude, for everybody, and it's cool to see everyone thrive and do well, because I felt like for a while, I followed you for a little bit. So you were working at Best Buy.
Yep.
Okay. And I reached out one time. I was going to take you to Ring of Honor. I got some tickets to wrestling. I think you were working.
I was,
yeah. And then I was kind of out of the loop when I'm with Rehab. We're getting ready to record this project, and I reached out to Cliffy, and I said, hey, bro, do you scratch on records, or do you know, I didn't know what kind of different kind of DJs, and he's like, man, I'm with Upchurch right now. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, I'm DJing for. I was like, dang, this is crazy. So now Cliffy's doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is killing it, man. It's just
for sure.
Cool. And O-Rig is doing good.
That's my dog, man. I've known O-Rig since 04.
O-Rig is the funniest dude.
Rig is my dog, man. I met him in 04, bro.
Dude,
I've known him in Smoke
and he's super dope, dude. Yeah. Like, but he's real humble,
so talented, and he's always smiling and laughing.
Yeah.
In good spirits, and he's been like that the whole time I've known him. He's never.
He fills in for Rehab sometimes.
Does he?
Yeah, and DJs for us. Dude.
That's dope. Yeah, he's such a beast, and I'm so glad to see him working closely with D-Ray and D-Ray's team, because they're such. Yeah. And Wee Wee too. Wee Wee's my dog. I've known him since 2010. I was buying beats from him before he turned 18. He was still a kid.
Wow.
When he first started. So, yeah, man, those are all my dudes, man. I'm glad to see them doing what they're doing.
Yeah, dude.
For sure.
It's cool, man. It's really, and struggle
for sure. Struggle's another one that's just been grinding all these years, man. And then to have that adversity, to go away for some years and come back a completely different dude.
Yeah.
As far as like mentally, physically, even spiritually, probably. You could say.
Bro, that album when he was in prison, what was it? Return of the Outlaw. Top 5 of my albums ever.
Dude,
period, bro. Period. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I got to meet him at a Yellow Wolf show, and I just told him, I was like, dog, that album was just unreal. But him and Jelly had just brought the album like that week. He's like, yeah, but have you heard the new one? I said, no, not yet. I'm still listening to that one. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know, man. I can't say enough about everybody that's just been grinding and never giving up and doing well, man.
Yeah. So you got the new album dropping November 16th.
Yes.
This is going to be dropping shortly before that. So if you're seeing this, we'll have the link for it in the description and in the comments section. What's the album called?
Dope Boy Country.
Dope Boy Country, yeah.
And I named it that for like a throwback to Southern hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dope Boy Country, we've been dropping a video every week. We have 3 videos out right now off the project, and Tuesday, Dope Boy Country, the single will drop, and we're just steady dropping videos every week.
Yeah, and we'll put your YouTube channel in here too, so y'all be sure to hit his YouTube channel, so hit that subscribe on his to stay in tune with what he's got going on, man.
Yes, for sure.
For sure. We appreciate you, man. This has been cool, and it's crazy too that how small things are. Like, you still had some ties to people that I know
from
years ago, and we didn't even know that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just sitting down. So, again, I wish you nothing but the best, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, dude,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to see everything that's going on with you and the interviews, and it's doing well.
Yeah, man. So y'all be sure to go subscribe to Jericho on YouTube, and then you got Instagram and all that too.
Yeah, it's everything is pretty much pray PRAY the number 4 pray for Jericho.
Okay, so I'll find them and get them all.
Yeah, I'll
linked in
shoot
there.
you a link, and then JerichoMusic.com is the website with links to everything.
Oh, okay, cool. That may be the easiest way to do it. We'll just put that on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Chat Arms TV, Jericho.